Good day, sir. So for today's vlog, this is my answer to your question, sir. Well, first, you should consider exact what the business is that you want to start. From there, you research to understand who target audience is, as in who is most likely to be interested in your product or service the most, and then working your way from there. The market that to consider are how many customers are in the market. Can these customers pay for your product or services? Do these customers have they need you solve? How many competitors are competing from customers' business, and how business compare to competitors? For example, no one knew about selfie sticks until it came out. Once it came out, it sold millions and slowly died down. It still sells now though. In short term, inadequate infrastructure make doing business more expensive. For example, if it is takes 2 weeks for a supplier to deliver materials, the company needs to maintain and pay for an extra 2 weeks of inventory. If the company wants to be able to respond to an uptick in sales, they will need to keep even more long inventory on hand. In long term, there will be downward pressure on the customer base. Some people will not be interested in a product if it takes too long to deliver, harder to get, and less attractive to a segment of the marketplace. Since I have no person to interview this question, so let me answer this. A large share of the poor will be concentrated in the countries that are already struggling with poverty rates, but middle-income countries will be also significantly affected. The measures taken to contain COVID-19 will affect households in many ways, including job loss of remittances, higher prices, rationing of food and other basic goods, and disruption to healthcare services and education. In COVID-19 crisis, food security, public health and employment, and labor issues. In particular, workers' health and safety converge. Adhering to workplace safety and health practices and ensuring access to decent work and the protection of labor rights in all industries will be crucial in addressing the human dimensions of the crisis. Particular attention must be paid to the situation of women, who are overrepresented in low-paid jobs and care roles. Different forms of support are key, including help from our local governments. farmers and fishermen need a good quality farm to market roads. Road transport is important for the both farmers and fishermen to sell their products. These markets tend to be well established in the community and may provide general advertising to attract customers. The diversity of vendors and products are also typically attracts a larger and more diverse group of potential customers compared to more individualized markets. Even as many developing countries are confronting the health impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, they are already bracing for the widespread global recession that will follow. This economic downturn is expected to be much worse because of the direct health effects. The sharp decline in global economic activity, the structural composition of their economics, and constrained policy options. As a citizen in the most vulnerable countries, this crisis may be particularly destructive, undermining progress towards sustainable development goals. There are five factors that help explain a country's baseline resilience and offer four recommendations to help policymakers mitigate the impact and accelerate their country's pathways to recovery. So, these are the five factors to understand baseline resilience.
Yes.